What is going on, guys? We are back with another video today. The reason why I wanted to make this video is I kind of wanted to help you guys when it comes to buying your own truck and things to look for when you buy a truck, because some people don't have mechanics that can come with them to go look at something. It's always best if you have a mechanic that can go with you to look at something, look at any type of truck. You know, you want to bring somebody that has some kind of knowledge. It'll always help you. It'll never hurt you in the long run. Even if you got to pay somebody 20, 30 bucks, whatever, you're better to save yourself a headache, you know, by having somebody there than to buy a mistake. So yeah, so basically here's my 2000 Freightliner Classic that I purchased 3 months ago. Well, 4 months ago now. I got screwed on my deal, but I'm here to show you guys how to not get screwed on your deal, or if you're looking for one just like this. First things first, when you're messaging somebody about a truck, always want to ask him. Oh, if he says, oh, it's got a rebuild, okay, you got receipts? He says no, most likely he's lying. You know, somebody that does rebuilds, you always want to have a receipt, so you know exactly, you know, what's going on, or what's been done, what hasn't been done, and stuff like that. Receipts are a key thing to trucks. And also, same thing goes for cars. Then obviously says he has receipts. Cool, set up a time and date. Then you go look at the truck. Here we are, we got to the truck. Visual inspection. You want to look at visual first. Look at the tires, you know, see how they are, see what the tread looks like, everything like that. Look underneath, just take a quick glance underneath, you know, like just look, try to see what you can find visually first until you dive into it. You know, looking at your tires, looking at your bags, looking at your, you know, your struts, just simple things, looking for oil leaks, you know, I mean, that's just a breather, no big deal. You're looking at your drums, looking at the pads in there. Well, not the pads, but you're looking at the brake shoes. That's what you want to look at as well. Just making sure, like, when you're looking at everything, looking at the brake chambers, all that stuff. No major damage to it. Fuel tanks as well. Sometimes you even want to open these fuel tanks up depending on how much fuel a truck has, because sometimes these fuel tanks can have algae buildup depending on if people treated their trucks. You know, you always want to put some kind of like treatment in your fuel, your injectors, whatever the case may be. So because it helps you in the long run. But yeah, so moving on. You're just visually inspecting everything, looking at the bags, looking underneath. You know, you can see the drive shaft. Grab the drive shaft. Sometimes you can go underneath here and you can push up side to side and see if there's any play between the U-joints, because trust me, drive shafts can cost a pretty penny. You want to look for leaks between the differentials, and just, you know, just keep moving around, visual inspections. And then right here we turn around and we look at it, and you're like, okay, let me check under the hood. So we're gonna open the hood. Okay, so we have the hood open. Now what you want to do is you want to just check everything. You're looking at everything, you're looking, and you see, you're like, oh, I see oil. Okay, we saw that. Looking. We got more oil right here on the front cover. And you're looking at the belts, you know, checking, making sure they're not loose or whatever. So whatever the case may be, or just making sure it doesn't look bad. Check for coolant leaks, check for, you know, anywhere, rust, blah blah blah, you know, etc. Just check everything. Look at the belts, look at the pulleys, look at the wires. When I bought my truck, the alternator wire was bad, so the truck wasn't getting as much power as it should have. So, you know, check the sensors, check all these sensors. You got your ABS sensors right there. Check your kingpins. Well, you can't really check the kingpins unless you take like a wheel bar and you wiggle it. So that would have to be determined on the ride if the kingpins are good or not. Take a look at the shocks, you know, your brake lines, whatever. You just want to make sure everything looks okay. Obviously, you want to open the oil, look at the fuel filter. You can see mine looks decent. You know, your steering box, I got some oil right there. You want to look at that right there as well. Then we're looking for oil leaks on the block, so you know, wouldn't have any indications that it needs to get a head gasket done or anything like that. So yeah, always check the oil. Always, when you're looking at a truck, first thing you want to do is check the oil, because it'll tell you. Sometimes the oil can tell you the condition of the motor. Surprisingly, it can. So yeah. So we're still looking for coolant leaks, any of that sort. Looking at the radiator, these radiators are expensive. They're over $2,000. Sometimes you can get them for $1,500 off Amazon if you're lucky to find one. So yeah. So next thing you want to do, obviously, go inside the truck. Then we're gonna start inspecting everything. Okay. So first thing you do, take a look around. You know, it's the interior of a truck. Some people don't take care of the trucks as well as others. So we're just looking, we're looking. And boom. He hands you the keys. Okay, let's start it up. Okay, we're looking at the gauges. Seeing if they're getting contact or anything like that. And then we're going to start her up. Now when you have the truck turned on, look at the exhaust. Make sure there's no like harsh white smoke coming out, black smoke, whatever. Some trucks with a lot of mileage, they will have black smoke coming out of it. Nothing to worry about. It's just, you know, the motor being worn, the motor being used, it being ran. So back then, visual inspection, the truck's running. Look at your belts. And just like that, just keep slipping. When you're looking at this stuff, check for air leaks. I know you probably can't hear it, but if an air leak is really that bad, you'll definitely notice. Trust me. So while the truck is warming up, you want to come back here. You want to listen for any type of air leaks. You want to check the bags out. Make sure they're all inflating good when the air builds up. And that the truck obviously lifts itself, so you know the shocks, if there's any leakage coming from the shocks or anything like that. You want to make sure there's no water up in your tanks. There's watering on a little bit, but that's just build up over time. If you have a lot of water coming out of there, that could be a possibility that that the air dryer is not good, and you're probably gonna have to replace it soon. So we come back, visually inspecting, there's no air bubbles in here. There's a one look underneath of the transmission, stuff like that. Okay, so once you've looked at all the gauges, make sure they work. Gas a little bit, make sure everything works. Look at your mileage, everything like that. Check the lights out. Go outside, inspect all the lights, make sure they all work, because that is part of DOT regulations. Any light on the outside that has to be on during the nighttime needs to work. So we're looking at it all. checking your bolts, checking your air, turbo. My turbo doesn't work, and for some reason now my oil pressure, I don't know how much oil pressure I'm getting, isn't working. So I'm gonna have to look that through and see what the dealio is. If a truck obviously has windows, make sure they work up and down. Just like that. Power mirrors, check your power mirrors. Check both. And they work. Okay, then you want to turn your air on. You just want to kind of feel it out. And if it gets cold, then obviously the AC works and there's no leak coming out of the system. This air that you're hearing, that just happens until the air kind of circulates through my truck. It might not sound like this on others, but just like that. Turn it up to the max. Mine blows as good. You got your trailer brake. When you pull it, listen for that air release. Horn, make sure your horn works, your blinkers, everything like that. But yeah, make sure your seats come. I mean, the seats on some trucks are not going to be the best when you buy them. People will sit in them for years, so you know, down the road you might have to replace a seat, but that's normal. Now when you're looking at the transmission, see mine's a 13-speed Eaton, you want to put your gear selector up and down. Sometimes you'll have grinds just by changing the gear selector up in neutral, but you see mine doesn't do that. Mine only grinds when I push the gear selector from 4th going to 5th. And then also obviously you want to make sure you hear a click from this, from your other selector, from your high and low selector. So yeah, I mean, you know, everything else is just personal preference. You know, not when you're looking in one, it's not gonna be perfect. You got to put your own touch to it and make it look perfect yourself. So yeah, it is what it is. No big deal. You know, anybody that has taste, they can clean a truck up, make it look a lot nicer. So another thing, when you turn the truck on, check engine lights, check for tractor ABS lights, as mine is. Mine, since it's cold, I replaced all my ABS related items on my truck, and I don't know why it's doing that, but I guess I gotta figure out why come Monday. So then I'm not gonna go on a drive because I don't really want to start my clock. I'm probably gonna go somewhere Monday, but go on a test drive. Feel the steering wheel. If the steering wheel shakes a lot while you're driving, could be the tires, could be the kingpins. If it pulls, could be the alignment. It could be plenty of things, but when you get back, never make a purchase right there and then. Unless it's too good to be true, the motor was just rebuilt or something like that, it's a crazy steal of a deal. Never pull the trigger on something until you have somebody's second opinion, a mechanics or something like that. Because a second opinion is always better than just one. But yeah. Okay, so I turned the truck off, and another thing you want to do is inspect for leaks. Now that the truck, the air has built up in the truck, you want to listen. So you can hear I have an air leak right there, and you never know what kind of air leaks you can find when you turn a truck off. Now you want to go to the motor, and you want to listen. Nothing coming out of the clutch fan. We're good there. Go to the other side. Start inspecting. Nothing. Nothing. So the only air leak that, let's say, if this was a truck that you were going to go look at, all you heard was that little one inside, that's really nothing to worry about. Unless it's something major, it's not that big of a deal. Like if it was the fan clutch, if you heard a leak coming from that area where that fan clutch was, that would be pretty expensive. Mine was $700, and plus labor it was like $150, so it cost me in total $900 to get that done. So it could be a $900 job. So just listen. Nothing. Bags. You hear no leaks. Make sure the bags aren't cut. You know, there's no cuts in the bag or anything like that. Any rashes. We're listening. Nope. After you do your walk around of the truck, you know there's no air leaks. You know, you look around, look at the frame, just make sure everything's okay. And that's it. You've done your inspection of, you know, the truck that you went to go look at. And if it's good, get somebody else out. Get it, like I said, get a second opinion and just go from there. So, yeah. So a little update for y'all. I fixed my oil pressure gauge. That's good to go. Also, I ended up fixing that little coolant leak that I had. Cleaned up that little oil mess down the road. I will be doing a front cover job on my truck. For those that don't know, basically what they're gonna do is they're gonna take off this whole cover right here. Obviously, when a truck is 20 years old and a front cover hasn't been done in you know, 2 decades, obviously you're gonna have some leaks coming from it. So basically, I'm gonna try to hustle these next few weeks, and I think I'm gonna probably try and get that replaced. So, you know, I can have everything fresh. I won't have any oil, because that's the only place I'm having a lot of oil leaks from. It's not bad, but over time, as you can see, the oil leaks from the front cover go back to the oil pan. All this was clean when we did the engine rebuild, and yeah, that's what it looks like now. So not the prettiest, but it is what it is. Whenever we get the money, we're gonna do it. And I found a radiator with a surge tank on Amazon for $1,000, no, $1,100 to be exact. 1,100 bucks, and you get a brand new radiator, brand new surge tank, all that stuff. So while I'm doing that front cover, who knows, I might save up the money and just go ahead and buy that that tank, that surge tank and radiator combo from Amazon. I think the freight shipping is probably like another 100 bucks, so 1,200 bucks in total for a radiator and a surge tank, because obviously 20 years on a OEM radiator, all the buildup it's had, all the water someone's put through it, and the only thing I'm putting through this thing is fresh coolant. Literally, that is it. Not putting anything else through it. But yeah, just kind of wanted to update you guys. But other than that, so that's probably gonna be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed everything. I hope you learned something, and maybe when you go to buy your next truck, maybe you'll find something that, you know, you wouldn't have known until you watched this video. Okay. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.